This nibble originally aired on RSBANDB Update, episode 787, Tipping the Scale. Enjoy. You think it's a vocal minority that is talking about these events and, perhaps being too often? Because, they obviously have the data on them, and I don't think they would do anything bad to the game in terms of XP coming in, right?
Well, yeah. It was, part of the flexibility, we thought that was giving us
what they were going
10
for.
days, and
Yeah.
right. But another part of the flexibility I think that we didn't see coming was to be able to have these once a quarter throughout the year, so that if you missed one or missed two, that maybe you'd still have a chance to catch one. In that regard, I don't think a lot has changed from where we were last time until now.
Because it's really only 3 months.
Yeah, and so I think the big change was going to the 10-day extended time. That was like where the shift really happens. Like at this point, double XP has really been decoupled from a lot of the social and just like if RuneScape had a culture, like cultural type aspects of, you know what I mean? Like it's really been kind of decoupled. You can get that with the beach. From that. Yes, and the breach. Although I guess I'm gonna have to try different times but you know what I'm saying, essentially.
Yeah. So. You're basically saying is that the cultural side of it can still be found elsewhere in game, and using the double XP weekend as a cultural event has kind of come to pass. And there's no real reason you can't do that, right?
Right.
Because you just do it on the first weekend then, if you were doing that.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's just I've been playing for so long or just getting older, but I only play what I want when I want. And if there's stuff that I want on double XP, then I'm going to play for that. But if I don't, then I'm not. Like, like last double XP, I did archaeology. Like, I wasn't.
Yeah, me too.
Because that's just.
And archaeology is still on the blacklist here.
Right, and I think it's good to for one, we know that you don't have to be crazy and get everyone that comes around now. But because there is one that comes around once a quarter now, I'm guessing that's going to have a more moderating effect on the economy too.
And that's exactly what they wanted to do with it.
Yeah, so I understand it feels like a lot because it does feel like they're happening a lot, but I don't think it's making any difference. I just think it gives you more choice.
Yeah, and I think most of the complaints on this come from the usual suspects over at one certain website on this, who are always looking, to find the next nail in the coffin of the game.
Oh, yeah. And there's those. They will just be there. Yeah. I think, we hear it from those, and we also hear it from the people that walked uphill through 5 feet of snow both ways to school. You know what I'm saying? Like, back when I played Classic, you couldn't get at level 50 was a good... Okay, yeah, we got it, Grandpa. We're good.
That's me. That's me.
Exactly.
Yeah. But August 7th through the 17th, 48 hours. I just want to touch on 2 things before we move on. In their FAQ this time, they said they looked at the data from the last 2 double XP events. That is the long, protracted ones. Most players used about half of their quota. 10% went on to use the whole 48 hours. And this is consistent with the data that they saw in the old 72-hour double XP weekends. So it's actually a pretty similar amount of XP. And possibly slightly lower, so it's not detrimental to the overall balancing of the game.
There you have it. hardcores will be hardcore, and cash is just cash.
Right. And there's going to be people who say, hey, we want to see the data and whatnot. But, I mean, it's data. There's no sure, you could put together a chart, but what difference is that going to make, right?
All I'm saying is if this is the data we're demanding to see, then we have other
we're
things. Done as a species.
Then we have other things we should be complaining about. Yeah. And there will be a ninja strike that coincides with Double XP Live. And it's like, why announce that here? So, I don't know. Maybe they're going to be making some changes to the Double XP mechanics. So, we'll just hold tight on that one.
Go get Toggle.
You can watch full episodes of RSBANDB Update right here on this YouTube channel. You can also listen to audio versions of RSBANDB Update at update.rsbnb.com, and feel free to subscribe to our show on any number of podcast listeners out there at update.rsbnb.com/subscribe.